is according to the working of Satan, with all power, signs, and lying wonders, and with all unrighteous deception among those who perish, because they did not receive the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this reason God will send them strong delusion, that they should believe the lie, that they all may be condemned who did not believe the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness.
Since we're about the middle of the tribulation period, you know who the Antichrist is, unless you're watching before the rapture. I think it's a good time for us to talk about this age-old adversary of God. With the breaking of the first seal, the Antichrist comes on the scene, and that was symbolized by the white horse and the rider. Well, this man will then begin his methodical mission to overthrow the kingdoms of the world and to kill all the Christians and to set himself up as ruler and God. Don't be fooled. He'll appear to be a peacemaker at first. In fact, he'll do what was thought to be impossible. He's going to make a peace treaty in the Middle East, establishing a 7-year treaty with Israel and their Arab neighbors. All that he does, even if it seems to be good, is for the purpose of his evil plans. At this point in our timeline, about 3.5 years have gone by, and he'll soon break that 7-year treaty with Israel and their neighbors, and he's going to reveal his real motives and plans for the nation Israel and for the temple, which has since been rebuilt. The kingdom of the Antichrist will be the 8th worldwide empire. After God flooded the earth, it became populated again, and the devil began his plans to destroy man's hope of redemption. The first great kingdom was Egypt, and then Assyria, Babylon, Persia, Greece, and Rome. The 7th kingdom is one that you'll see come into power, and it's made up of a 10-nation confederacy, 10 nations which were once part of the old Roman Empire. This Roman Empire once included many more countries than these 10 in its greatest days. And we don't know which individual countries will make up this 10-nation confederacy. These 10 nations are independent as countries, but they agreed to join together as one. Together, they will wage war on other nations. They'll gain more power in the world, and one thing they will be united in is their hatred for anyone who supports Israel. Now, this 7th empire will only exist for a short time. The Antichrist is the leader, one of the 10 nations. 7 of the 10 will join him willingly. 3 will either join through coercion or war. The Antichrist will continue to wage war with surrounding countries in his attempt to dominate the world. The book of Daniel assures us that this will be the final world empire.
Then I saw another angel flying in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach to those who dwell on the earth, to every nation, tribe, tongue, and people, saying with a loud voice, "Fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment has come, and worship him who made heaven and earth, the sea and springs of water."
In the midst of these seemingly hopeless times, 3 angels will be commissioned to carry 3 messages to the world. God is still communicating with the people of the world. He created them, and it's not too late for those who have not yet joined themselves to the Antichrist. Consider one of God's little wonders, the bumblebee. This little creature has amazed scientists for many years with its flying abilities, and yet you can keep it in an open-topped container. The bumblebee looks for a way out through the sides, completely unaware of the freedom that's just above. It's time to quit trusting in your own abilities. Science won't save you, and time is running out. Look up. Call out to Jesus. There's always been a way out. The first of the 3 messengers will soon fly through the heavens above. Listen to his message. It says this: "Fear God and give him glory, because the hour of his judgment has come. Worship him who made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and the springs of water." Look at your situation. The world all around you is literally coming to an end, and no person can fix it. 7 seals were broken by Jesus, and the results were devastating to the world. Then 7 trumpets sounded, and God's judgments were executed, and the worst is still coming. When you see this first angel and hear his message, consider this as God's messenger to you personally. God knows you by name, and he takes no pleasure in your death. Another angel will follow and will shout, "Babylon is fallen. That great city has fallen because she seduced the nations of the world and made them drink the wine of her passion and her immorality." This is bad news for the Antichrist, and he cannot stop its broadcast. For the believer and those soon to believe, this is good news, because God is announcing his victory over evil and its devastating effect on mankind and his environment. Let me give you an illustration. A farmer has a large tree in his field. He needs to remove that tree. So he dug around the tree and cut the roots. And even though the tree is still standing and shows no change, the farmer knows that the tree is dead. And it'll begin to wither, and eventually it will come down. The reign of evil is coming to an end. And even if it doesn't look like it yet, it will become more and more evident in the days to come. Now a third angel follows with his message to all who can be saved. He says this: "Anyone who worships the beast and his statue, or who accepts his mark on the forehead or on the hand, must drink the wine of God's wrath. It's poured out undiluted from the cup of God's wrath. And they will be tormented with fire and burning sulfur in the presence of the holy angels and the Lamb. The smoke of their torment rises forever and ever, and they will have no relief day or night, for they have worshipped the beast and his statue and have accepted the mark of his name." You have about 42 months to go. And the Antichrist is going to become bolder in his hatred for Christians. The pressure to receive a mark on your forehead or on your hand or wrist is increasing daily now. And soon your ability to buy or sell will depend on whether you are marked as a follower of the Antichrist. You might be told that it's for your protection, but don't be fooled. They want to control you, and they will kill you if you resist. Now, to you who are watching this video before the rapture and still don't believe, consider this. The reasons that you are using to deny yourself the opportunity to receive eternal life and avoid going through the things that we've been talking about are small compared to what is coming. It will never be easier than right now. God has shown us what is going to happen. These angels will fly above the earth on the day that God says so. We don't have to wait until that day to heed the 3 warnings. They're for all time. First, we saw the 7 seal judgments, one by one opened, and their devastating effects to mankind and the earth that he lives on. Next, the trumpet judgments sound off and worsen the effects on man and his environment. Now, the third and final set of 7 judgments will come, the bowl or vial judgments. The scene is in heaven, and it's at the throne of God, where 7 vials are being filled with the remaining anger God has against nature of evil and those who have chosen evil over good. 7 angelic messengers prepare to carry forth their vials of judgment and pour them over the remaining enemies of God. The intended target of the vial judgments is on or toward the kingdom of Satan, which he has established through the Antichrist. Now you might ask why God, in all of his power, doesn't just destroy the evil forces at work in this world with the blink of his eye. Well, God could do just that. However, we should be thankful that he's showing mercy through his prolonging the final judgment of evil. The longer he takes, the more opportunity there is for people to turn from their sin that is destroying them. Now, at the completion of the vile judgments, eternity past will meet with eternity future, marked by the coming of King Jesus, who was, and is to come.
So the first went out and poured his vial upon the earth, and a foul and loathsome sore came upon the men who had the mark of the beast and those who worshipped his image.
The first of 7 angels at the command of Jesus went out to pour a golden vial full of the wrath of God on earth. Those who have taken the mark of the beast and all who have rejected the Son of God and bowed down to the image of the beast are going to receive upon themselves sores. And these sores are going to be bad. Not only will they be painful, but there is no cure. Now, we're not given a time limit for this curse. These sores may inflict people until the very end at the return of Jesus. Those who are infected with these sores are literally taking on the image of the beast that they've chosen to follow. You see, you can look beautiful on the outside and dress in fine clothing, and on the inside be anything but beautiful. The sores on the skin of the people who follow the Antichrist are showing outwardly what they have chosen in their hearts to be.
Then the second angel poured out his vial on the sea, and it became blood as of a dead man, and every living creature in the sea died.
The second angel pours out his vial on the sea, and the sea becomes like the blood of a dead man, and all living things in the sea die. We don't know if the sea will literally become blood, but like the blood of a dead man, it'll become lifeless. This may be the Mediterranean Sea that is struck with this vial of God's wrath. However, it's possible that all of the seas of the planet will die. The sea will no longer be a source of food, and going to the beach would be a horrible experience. Even travel on the sea would be a terrible experience with the stench of death.